Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day today. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Warren Buffett, who recently purchased gold. Now, if you guys know anything about Warren Buffett, is that he's never been a fan of investing into gold. Now, does this mean that you should be buying gold? Is it too late to purchase shares in gold stock? Is it better to either invest in gold or perhaps the companies that mine the gold? Well, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the research I've done analyzing Warren Buffett's recent purchases in Barrick Gold and what that really means for you. By the way, guys, this video did take quite a while to research and edit, so if you're enjoying the video so far, please make sure to hit that like button. And I do just want to put it out there, this is not investment advice, this is just research that I've done and knowledge that I want to share with you guys so you guys can make better understanding of what's going on. Precious metals, or PM, such as gold and silver, are actually very popular during times of crisis. Investors such as Ray Dalio really preach buying gold and silver because it helps protect you during financial crisis. Many people argue that when you have a large amount of cash, you should actually try and purchase some sort of gold or silver to help hedge that amount of money that you have against inflation. See, when you're handling billions and billions of dollars in actual cash, in money, it's better to protect some of that money in gold and silver because inflation is going to decrease the value of that actual currency. For example, different countries that are able to print their own currency can go ahead and print more of these bills and put it out into the system, increasing the amount of money that's out into the economy, therefore lowering the value of the rest of the currency that's in that economy. With gold, on the other hand, there's only a finite amount. You can't just make more out of thin air. Now you can go and try to mine and look for some, but you can't just make it just because you feel like making more currency. So just to reiterate, you can always have more and more of a nation's currency, but you can't necessarily just make more and more of gold. Gold, there's only a finite amount in the world. That's why if you purchase gold, when inflation occurs on any sort of currency because they're making more and more of that money, the value of that gold stays proportional to the currency that exists within the system. So if there's more money in the system, then technically your gold is worth just a little bit more money because of this inflation. Now, despite all the headlines saying that Buffett has finally bought gold, he finally purchased some gold for his portfolio. He actually didn't purchase gold. He purchased Barrick Gold. Berkshire Hathaway ended up purchasing about a 1.2% stake in the world's second largest gold mine, Barrick Gold. It's important to distinguish here the big difference between the gold miner company as well as gold. Really look at the two key differences here. With gold on one side, it's really a non-productive asset. So for example, if you were to purchase 10 ounces of gold and you were to sing to it, you were to coddle it, admire how shiny it looks like, in a year or 5 years or 10 years, you're still just gonna have the same amount of gold that you started with, whether it's in your safe or wherever you were to save your gold. It's never going to produce or create more of anything. It's just going to stay stagnant. But Barrick Gold, on the other hand, is a gold mining company. So they are a company that mines gold and then sells it for a profit. So at the end of the day, this is still a Warren Buffett type of investment because he believes investing into companies that can go and produce more things, more goods, in order to increase the amount of revenue that they have so they can increase their cash flow. Again, this is still a Warren Buffett style approach to investing in gold. He's not investing in the non-productive asset of gold, the physical gold where you purchase it and just look at it and it looks shiny and doesn't create anything. He's still purchasing in a gold mining company that mines gold and then sells it for a profit. So he's still at the end of the day investing in a productive asset. With this investment in the gold mining company, you're pretty much investing into a company where you expect for the revenues to continue to grow and increase over time. But I think it's also important to sit and think and look at what is the main driving factor in a gold mining company. Just think about that for a second. What do you think is the single important factor that drives this gold mining company to increase money over time? Did somebody say gold? Yes, that's right, it's gold. If the gold mining company mines gold today and they sell it a year from now after the price of gold has doubled, then they've been able to double the amount of revenue that they create for the company. Obviously, the price in gold does have a direct effect to this gold mining company because their business is in mining and then selling that gold for a profit so they can increase the amount of money that they have and the amount of revenue. So it's important to see Warren Buffett has purchased shares in this gold mining company, not actual gold. Of course, with such a strong direct link to the price of gold, one wouldn't necessarily purchase shares in a gold mining company unless they expected the price of gold to continue to grow and increase in the future. Now, what exactly is the big deal with investing in this gold mining company? The big idea is that Warren Buffett historically, time and time again, has actually said that you should not invest in gold. And he has not invested in gold. He doesn't enjoy investing in this non-productive asset. He has criticized ever investing in gold because, again, it's a non-productive asset. So whether you buy it, look at it, sing to it, coddle it, in a year's time, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, you're still going to have the same amount of gold that you had when you started. He has consistently stated that gold is not a good investment. So to see the Oracle of Omaha purchasing shares in a gold company is quite a big deal. After this new investment in the gold mining company, it clearly seems like Warren Buffett has taken a complete U-turn on his stance of gold, right? Well, let's actually dig a little further into this. Let's take a look at why someone would invest in gold. Now, there'd really only be two main reasons you would want to invest in gold. As we mentioned earlier, gold is great for a time during high inflation because gold is an insurance against inflation. So no matter how much currency there is in your current economy, gold helps keep that price steady. Gold is also great to have during a weak economy because of the uncertain times that lie ahead, or I guess are present and continue to lie ahead. Since there has been a drastic rise in the printing of money recently, clearly there does seem to be a near future where there is going to be a very high inflation rate. This means that your current currency is going to be devalued within the next year or two at a high rate. One could argue that Warren Buffett also sees this very high inflation rate coming within the next year or in the near future. I am personally quite a bit bullish on precious metals such as silver and gold, but I do also think it's important to take a look at the other side and see, is perhaps Warren Buffett not necessarily completely bullish on gold? If we look at Berkshire Hathaway, they're currently sitting at about $146 billion in cash, seeing that Buffett purchased about 20.9 million shares in Barrick Gold, or just over $500,000 in this gold company. One could also argue that perhaps he isn't as bullish as one would like. If we do the math, that's really only about a 0.4% investment in gold out of his entire portfolio. So perhaps he's not the most bullish on gold, but I think in the long run, as these uncertain times start to bring a lot of uncertainty in a lot of investors, perhaps gold is the right way to go. And whether or not you invest directly in gold, Buffett is betting that people are going to continue to try and purchase as much gold as possible during these uncertain times. So Buffett will be able to profit and continue to make more money on people purchasing and selling gold. So whether the price of gold fluctuates up or fluctuates down, he's really looking at consumer behavior, which is something that Warren Buffett is amazing at. That's why he did his purchase in Apple. In 2018, he saw the consumer behavior with his great-grandkids or grandkids, where they were completely on their phones while they were on some sort of trip. And he noticed the consumer behavior for people towards Apple products. So despite the fact that he's not necessarily investing in gold directly, he is betting that people are going to try and purchase more and more gold during these very uncertain times that lie ahead. Another feature to also look at is when you invest in this gold mining company, there could be a bit more reward because you're selling this gold for quite a bit of profit to increase your revenue, but it also brings along a higher amount of risk when investing in the company. So at the end of the day, it really comes down to what your portfolio can handle. Where do you really want to take your portfolio? If you can handle the higher risk, but potentially the higher reward, you can go ahead and invest in a gold mining company such as Barrick Gold. But if you want something a bit steadier and not so high risk, but with a bit less reward, then go ahead and purchase some gold stocks. Go ahead and really take a look at the goal of your portfolio. Although I would like to think that Buffett is a bit bullish on gold because he did invest a very small investment into this company, I personally see it more as he's just trying to store a little bit of his wealth into this gold just because there is quite a bit of an uncertain time ahead of us. When you look at it, it's really only a 0.4% investment on his portfolio. So it's not really much, right? Like if he really was confident in the price of gold to continue to go up higher and higher, then I would see it as he might have potentially invested perhaps a couple billion. If we were talking a couple billion, then yes, perhaps I would really say that Buffett is very bullish on gold. But at this point, I think he just wants to kind of dab his toes in gold just a little bit, just to kind of preserve some of the cash. Again, the over $160 billion in cash that Berkshire Hathaway has in the company. Either way, I hope you guys were able to learn something from this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching.